It's race 13 of the GTE Championship, the penultimate event in Season 2. And we have gone north to Road America. The championship is very tight for second place, and that's what we're going to be fighting for today. Bozak has clinched Season 2 and is not racing today. The stage is completely open for night racing and Nodovan. It's 31 points back to Stillen 421, who sits on 122. T-Man looking to take advantage of Jagbase's absence today with a 3-point gap. Let's check out the starting grid for race 13. Nodovan looking to defend that second place, gets pole here with a 2:04.651. Again, just nipping ahead of night racing in the qualifying session, a 2:04.781. And the two of them fighting for second place have given themselves a gap. It is Stillen 421 inside of row 2, a 2:05.860. As he tries to make up any ground he can. T-Man 1975, 2:06.898. And it's all about finishing today as he's 3 points behind Jagbase, who couldn't make the race. It's good to have Scarlett Biwana on the grid here. Part-time driver, had a little trouble in qualifying, but we'll see what goes on as we do 45 minutes around Road America. Wait for the green lights, and they're off, and a good start by Knight, who has the inside from second position. But Nodovan, straight line speed, known for his low downforce setups, a little bit of a squeeze, but Nodovan's got the line. T-Man is right there as well in third. Night Racing will take the lead in turn number 1. T-Man third, still in fourth, Scarlett Biwana away in fifth. Three points separate these cars for second place in the championship. And they stretch their advantage down to turn 4. Knight on the inside, Nodovan looking on the outside, pulls it back. Meanwhile, a little tap in the background there between Stillen and T-Man. Everybody away clean though here. Into the carousel for the first time. Canada corner for the two Canadians. As Scarlett has dropped off the back a little bit, it's starting to form two-car races as we complete lap number 1. It's a 45-minute race. And Night Racing 727 will lead the first lap at Road America. We'll get into the points a little later as we wait for this race to settle in. Just a little wiggle on the back end of that Corvette. T-Man holding on to third. He's got a nice gap over Stillen, who's doing a new livery today in the classic Corvette livery, just to change it up. Not even in the toe, but leaves it in behind. That back end just likes to come around on that lead Corvette. Tire wear an issue here, but the temperature, track temp, is 16 degrees at the start of the race. And I believe all the teams have gone for soft compound tires. We'll try and get confirmation on that one. But everybody would love to run hards here with the high deg on the tires, but they just couldn't get any grip. So I think everybody on the softs as Knight through the carousel starts to pull away a little bit. Meanwhile, we've got T-Man on the inside of the carousel with Stillen coming around the outside. Best seats in the house for Scarlett Biwana as Stillen 421 takes third place. Oh, and behind! Scarlett's around. Bounces off that wall and keeps going, but some damage there for the only Ford in the field. Back up front, our first representative times as we'll complete lap number 2. .205.6. And just to give you a little bit of perspective there, a 205.6 is 0.2 quicker than the third place qualifying time. So these guys are on it. And that may be good or bad, as the tire wear is going to be killer in the second half. I imagine we may have pit stops in this race. This series has been known for these guys managing tire wear, but being forced to go onto soft tires with the temperatures, I think everybody is prepared to come in today. Stillen 421 is now pulled away a little bit from T-Man, so it's a Corvette podium at the moment. The battle up front with our combatants for second place in the championship. Donovan currently second in the championship and the race. Knight Racing third as he slides through that corner. Only 3 points behind, so a win here would leapfrog his fellow Canadian. It's also an esports battle here, isn't it, as these two. Knight Racing 727, of course, drives in the gold esports car, not even the lead driver in the blue esports car for Knight Racing. As we come up to complete lap number 3, just over 6 minutes into the 45-minute race. And we'll check, it's a 205.8 this time for Knight. And just dipping back into the 206s is Donovan. So they're keeping up the pace, at least early, as another drift through turn 1 for Knight Racing. Oh, and another one that's going to cost him. A great run for Donovan on the inside. He's got the run now. And easily takes the lead. As these tires already starting to overheat a little bit, especially in the rear, it looks like, on the 727 car. So your new leader, Donovan. And then he pushes wide. Back to the lead is Knight Racing 727, lap 4. Tighter line. You saw the hands flying on the steering wheel in there. He tries to keep that drift under control. Same deal through this corner. Flat out, no brakes. Donovan, a great run down the back straight. He's got the inside line. Down to Canada corner. And he will retake the lead. Fantastic stuff, and he's wide again. That's the same thing he did on turn 2, and he's got a slowdown, I think. I think he went 4 wheels off. Knight back to the lead. 4 lead changes in 1 lap. Still in the background, waiting for any mistakes. As we go on board, Donovan in second place. This is a corner where it all kicked off last lap. Knight's got a little more under control there as he hits the accelerator for the long straight down to turn 4. Lines there as they seem to have things a little more planted. That was still in 421, just in behind. He is now 8 seconds behind this battle for the lead as we head back to the carousel. Knight seems to be a little more planted through the carousel. Gets a little gap every time they go through there, and that will translate to better straight line speed down here, except Donovan seems to be running slightly less downforce. He's got top speed on the other Corvette. We know Knight likes to have his car a little more settled than some of the other drivers, so he will sacrifice straight line speed for the long game, and definitely on display here is Donovan, again, very close. We'll see what he does up the hill. He's got the draft, and he's got lower downforce. A great run for the 6 car. Donovan will just tuck back in as he just reels him in under the brakes. And here he is having a little peek for turn 2. You're going to have to earn it, son, he says Knight as he keeps it in and then cuts down across the nose when he's clear. The lazy drift to protect the corner. Donovan wants to go inside, but it's not there. And Knight will maintain the lead here. 11 minutes into the 45-minute race. We're back in the 206s that last time around. Fantastic stuff up front. Donovan back and forth, looking again. Knight keeps him at bay, a little wiggle from the front of all places, and into the carousel where Knight is it's really the only part of the circuit where Knight has had the advantage on a regular basis. And does again, I mean, only a couple of car lengths so this time around. Oh, that's a big drift. Donovan a much better line through that corner. And again closes right on the bumper under brakes. If he can get through here tidy, he might have a run down to turn 1. We'll see what happens. Nice line. Definitely closer than last lap. does look to the inside. Tucks it back in. And a little push. Donovan goes off. Just a little breather into the next corner. We'll do a little rundown now. Third place is still the third Corvette in this race. Stillen maintaining that 8-second gap. Every time these guys start to battle, any advantage they get is given back to Stillen. So still keeping around 8 seconds behind. T-Man 1975 in the Ferrari is in fourth. And Scarlett Biwana, part-time driver in the series, has filled out the grid. You can see the burned out headlight there. He had that accident on the back straight, which has taken that right front corner, but he's holding in fifth as we head back to the battle up front. Approaching the 1/3 distance mark. Every bit of track there, aren't they? Go back on board with Donovan in second place. He's got another run. Taking a little bit of a center line there just to really... Are you sure you want to go for it? Nice and tight, although he still catches the grass there. Not even having a look. This is the straightaway where you really want to be set up. There's not much point getting somebody in turn one when you're going to give him the draft all the way down this straightaway, and Donovan is very well placed here. He's got a look. Knight is going to take the outside line this time. But again, Donovan breathes a little bit and just content to sit in second at the moment. They've had their battles, they've got their tires heated up and worn out a little bit, and it looks like Donovan is now just kind of settled into a long game here. He's figured out where he's got the advantage. He's set up a couple of passes and then just slipped it back in line, waiting for a better opportunity. Maybe he can force his fellow Canadian to use up his tires a little more. Could also be saving fuel, although it's a weird... Because everybody usually doesn't pit here, it's just too much of a penalty. You have to assume everybody is fueled up. He's really close now. We're going to complete the 8th lap, and he's pulled out early. Not even going for it this lap for sure. Knight is not known for giving a corner away easily, but you can see he's still holding it in on the outside. Donovan gives him plenty of room, but he has it crossover by Knight. On the inside of turn 2, they'll fight for it again. Plenty of room given by both drivers. And we'll drag race. Donovan with the good line for turn 4. Fantastic stuff. Knight drops in behind. I expect to see some headlights. Somebody has obviously been in the pits, but a good crossover. Knight little deep on the brakes. Donovan comes and crosses back, and he's going to get the lead. Fantastic stuff. Donovan back out front, lap number 9. And that is Scarlett Biwana in behind, so he's a lap down, having pitted a second time. And T-Man has crashed. T-Man in the pits getting fixed. There is Scarlett Biwana. Little agricultural work by one Brit, and just kind of a lazy come around for the other, and that's what put T-Man in the pits. As we're back up front, it's an 11-second gap now to Stillen, who's holding on, but just dropping back slightly as the race continues on. Donovan now his first real lead of the race, and he's had it in front, but Knight's always been right there and retaken it. This is the first time he's had an actual gap. We are now 20 minutes almost into this race. Donovan comes by at 2:08.3 as these guys have been fighting. See if he can stretch his legs here and pull away. Donovan second in the championship. Said we were going to talk about that. They both have 10 races. And so that means it's drop time. Donovan is going to have to drop a 5th place. He had a 5th in Spa. Another one in Hockenheim. Knight Racing had a 7th in Dubai, and that's what he's going to drop. So that is a 4-point difference. This T-Man is out of the pits now and in front of the leaders. So Knight is 3 points behind. Effectively, he'll get 4 points added when they both drop T-Man out of the way. Great job there as the battle continues unabated. But of course, right now, it's an 8-point advantage from 25. Sorry, a 7-point advantage, 25 to 18 for Donovan the way they are right now for first and second. So he will stretch that lead by 3 points. It would be a 6-point advantage if they were to finish like this, heading into the 1-hour day-to-night finale at Daytona. That will be in 3 weeks' time, I believe. I'll just double-check the calendar. Yeah, March 28th will be that race. We complete lap 10. 21 minutes into the race. Who is thinking about pit stops? We've had pit stops from Scarlett and T-Man, but those were rather forced. The top 3 cars all still out on the original tires. It's a 2-second gap now for Donovan, so he's definitely looking comfortable leading, and have to think clearly he was demonstrating he was the quicker car as he was behind. It's looking nice and steady too. Knight absolutely sliding back there. This is the first time he's actually had to put the hammer down. I mean, he's been defending well and driving well with the lead, but he's now got his championship contender here for second place, mind you, starting to disappear into the distance, so he's got to keep the hammer down here. Who will blink first for pit stops is the big question. As Donovan wide again pulls some cones out of there. That was a slowdown the last time he did that. And he has pulled over. Knight Racing's going to get all this time back. Here he comes. He's cleared the slowdown, but Knight is in the draft. It is back on as we hit lap number 12. Catches a little grass there on the left side. That puts him wide. Knight slides it down on the inside. We're side by side for turn 2. And Knight's got the good line. He's going to retake the lead. Crossover by the other Canadian. And drag race again. We know he's got the lower downforce. Halfway through this race, I will take another 12 laps of this, please. Knight able to get the apex on turn 4 up the hill. He is back in front. Now we've got to redo all the points again. You would effectively gain 11 points with the dropped races and the 7 for winning, which would mean an 8-point lead in second place if Knight were to win this race over Donovan. Still at now 14.5 seconds off the lead. And calling his pit crew, we're hearing. Let's have a look in pit road as we go by. The pit crew has gone back in. Be trying to force the hand of the leaders. I'm not sure they would actually know whether or not that pit crew was called. Till it was too late, of course. They've always got access to the gaps. Donovan right back in the situation he was the first half of this race, staring at the back of the number 6 Corvette. He was looking quite handy in the lead. If he can get it back. Just a little track limit issue there. Had to put him back into the clutches of Knight Racing, and he's capitalized on it. But definitely the 30 car seems to have the better overall pace. If there's one thing we found out in Long Beach, as wide goes Donovan there. Maybe those tires are starting to scream a little more. He was in second, and we thought as he kept pulling back in behind Knight there, you know, just saving it for later, maybe trying to keep as much rubber under him as possible. Let Knight burn the tires off. This far into the race on softs, nobody has great tires. Knight starting to pull away. He has that carousel advantage, and he definitely put it to good use there down the back straight. Canada corner has always been an issue for him. That car has been very swingy through there. But he's got a good run here. And he's got that gap to a second, which must seem like eternity for Knight. He hasn't had a lead that big all race. Let's see what the lap times are. 206.1. What a great lap. And a 7.4 for Nodovan. That explains the advantage. Can pump in a couple of those. He might not have to worry about being challenged from behind. We approach the 30-minute mark, 2/3 of the way through this incredible two-car battle we've had since the start. Knight a little soft on the brakes there. The front tires not sticking, and he's going to give back a little bit of that advantage. Those left side tires have just got to be almost gone on all of these top three cars. And a little bit of grass there by Knight. First time we've seen him do that there in coming onto the back straight. This is usually the corner he has issues with. Looked pretty good there, as he probably took it a little safer than usual. Who is pitting? I don't know how either of them could dive to the pits if the other one didn't. It's just... You look at the lap times, I mean... We started in the 205s, qualified in the 204s. We're really, what, 2 seconds off of... What are you going to gain? If Nodovan there did a 206.5 on worn tires... If you're going to do 205s, even 205.0s, it's a second and a half a lap. I don't think you're going to make up the pit stop, so... Again, it's a blinking contest like we've seen so many times in this series. Le Mans was the first time between Senna 211 and Knight Racing. Nodovan another run here. But Knight's got it covered off, and Nodovan goes deep on the brakes this time. Quick field rundown as Knight Racing leads Nodovan 19 seconds behind them, and also on his original tires is still in 421 in the 64 Corvette, changing up the livery for today's race. T-Man 1975 has his Ferrari. He's had an incident today. You can see the damage in the front, but he's soldiering on in fourth. And Scarlett Biwana has well and truly embedded his car in pit road after another incident. Part-time driver and not a lot of testing. As Knight back under pressure, we can't leave these guys alone for more than a couple of seconds. But off the track in his favorite corner, and that will be a slowdown for Nodovan. Again, his second one on that corner, and it's going to pull him off the tail of his rival. Again, no pit stops, and I think I've talked myself out at 32 minutes into this race now. I can't see how anybody's going to be coming into the pits, unless somebody spins. If one of these guys puts it in the grass or spins it around, then maybe, even if it meant being a second or two behind, the fresh tires would be worth it, but I can't see anybody pitting now with under 13 minutes remaining in this race. "32 minutes of racing, they have not been more than 2 seconds apart the entire race. That was when Nodovan had the lead briefly for 2.5 laps He got a 2-second gap on Knight Racing. The biggest gap Knight has had the entire race has been 1 second. I think I saw 1.1 briefly. But most of this race, it has been just like this. Knight and Donovan in that order. We've had 8 lead changes in this race. And no contact. So we'll go back on board Donovan here. As they approach Canada Corner. He is so good on the brakes here every lap, and you can see Knight can't be very good on the brakes there because he's got that loose condition on the right-handers. And it is not a good idea to be loose in the right-handers, as most of the corners here are right-handed. Donovan in the tow, thinking about a move. Biding his time. Knight again, you can see the way that left rear just dips. Not even having a look. Canadian puts it in the middle of the circuit. There's no weaving. If you're going to pass him, you're going to have to think about where you're going to place your car. It's the master and the student here, isn't it? The wily old vet in the 6 car and the very fast rookie in the 30 car. Car placement is what it's all about for the 6, as it's obviously slower. Every time Knight gets in front, Donovan is able to reel him back in. "10 minutes to go. We're on lap 17 at Road America, the second last race, the penultimate round in the GTE Championship. Bozak, the Season 2 champion, is not here today, allowing these guys to fight it out for second. It's a 3-point gap. You're just joining us. The 30 car there, Donovan, is second in the championship by 3 points over the 6 car, who leads him here by 0.2 of a second. On board as we will start the 18th lap. That's what I've been saying. It just takes the middle of the track, forces Donovan to decide where he wants to go. Okay, inside. Knight will take the brake line. On the outside, very wide that time. Donovan a good run here down to turn 2. Same thing, just slightly towards the middle, but there's more than a car width if you want to go down the inside. Here's the straightaway. Donovan with the tow. And he's going to look inside this time. Knight hard on the brakes. Donovan a great run, and he's got the apex. Clips that bollard. And a better exit by Knight. So he's going to keep second place, or first place. He's going to keep Donovan in second, who then goes wide at the top of the hill. Still in 421, just hoping for some dive ball move, but we haven't seen anything. Still a 19-second gap now to the American in third. He's probably driven a great race. We just haven't seen any of it because we've been glued to this battle that it just won't relent. They've been nose to tail for 40 minutes. 38 to be exact. Canada corner again. Donovan pulls in on the brakes. And this is the corner he has trouble with. The carousel and that one he has issues with. Knight Racing issues on the right-handers, turns 1 and 2 especially, and Canada corner. So they each have their advantage sections on the circuit. It's kept them glued together. Donovan no move this time in turn 1, trying to get a nice exit, perfect line. Knight looked pretty good there too, as just under 7 minutes to go in this race. If they finish like this, Knight will be in second in the championship with a race to go. The 1 hour day to night finale at the Daytona Road Course. Can't wait for that. Knight as close as he's ever been now at the top of the hill. As I look down there, I think that's more just trying to get a mistake under brakes. And again, a little bit of a gap through the carousel. There's a little bit of a wiggle on that right-hander, but that one hasn't really hurt Knight through the race. It's been this corner here. Just watch how Donovan reels him in. And you get that little wiggle right there. You just cannot seem to get that corner. Donovan gets right back on him. Then a little gap here as Nod has trouble with that left-hander. Not too bad that time. And here we come up the front straightaway. Less than 5 minutes to go. There's probably 3 more laps in this one. And it has been a classic up front. He's got a good toe, but doesn't even pull out. Gives Knight the corner. He wants to set him up on the next corner. Knight gives him a little wiggle to keep him close. It's a peak, but there's no need to pass there. This is the straightaway, and here he comes. What will Knight do? He doesn't really take the center. Donovan's out early. Knight happy to have the inside for turn 4. Can Donovan clear him before they get there? Doesn't look like it. Late on the brakes. And a great exit by both drivers. Knight on the inside again. He's not going to give it up. Plenty of room for everybody. Now Donovan has the advantage. This is a corner you don't want to go side by side through. And Knight will give it to him. Crossover. A little bit of a squeeze, but Knight already had the nose in there. Donovan keeps it on the inside, but now the good corner for Knight. He's got the inside for the carousel. And he will keep the lead. 5 corners side by side. And Knight keeps the lead. And wide onto the back straight for Donovan. And I'm not sure if that's a slowdown. That would be horrible timing for that. 3 minutes to go. There's going to be 2 laps when they cross the line remaining in this one. Seems to have held on to the back end. Good toe. 2 laps to go. 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Donovan has a look on turn 1. He's got the inside for turn 1. Knight, last of the late breakers, holds the outside. Has his nose ahead and does take the inside for turn 2. Donovan up into the draft. And Knight's making no bones about this. He wants the inside for turn 4. He just goes to the left and stays there. Donovan can do whatever he wants. We saw this last lap. Knight keeps it. No, it's a crossover setup this time for Donovan. He's trying to get the inside up the hill. Knight a wiggle, but very late on the brakes, and he's going to hold that corner. One and a half laps remaining at Road America. Probably the best race for the lead we've had all year, and that's 25 laps we saw at Long Beach in the FR35s. Through the carousel, trying to get any advantage he can. It's not bad. Almost 8/10. That's about as much as he's had at any point. Donovan very late on the brakes this time. Knight, another wiggle. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. He can't go slowly through there. Donovan will eat him up. He can't go quickly because the car will try to come around. Up for the last lap board. Into the 210s. It's Donovan on the inside. This will be the final lap. They're going to cross the line with 15 seconds left on the clock. Donovan definitely has the inside line. He's got it down the straight. Knight has to drop in. He goes to the inside for turn 1. Not close enough. Donovan takes the lead into the final lap at Road America. Have the tires finally given up on the blue Corvette? He's not very close. You'd want to be very close down that straight. Very late on the brakes. The left-hand corners have been better for Knight, and he does pull some ground in there. See if he can get some back here. A little bit of a wiggle. As Donovan comes down the hill. What a brilliant race by both, but especially Donovan here, as he sat in second place for most of it, sizing up his competition, every corner, knowing the strengths and the weaknesses. And he finally took that advantage off Canada corner, kept himself very, very tight. As Knight does pull back a little bit through the carousel, and this corner he's been very good. He's got the toe. Can he get close enough? Now will he get through there? Actually, a great exit from Canada corner by Knight. Does he have enough to get close? This is where Donovan's had issues. He gives the curb a wide berth. And up the hill will come. Knight's got the toe, but I don't know if it's enough. Donovan will win in Road America. What a race. Knight racing second. Unbelievable stuff by these two drivers. 0.5 seconds between them at the line. And a little congratulatory rub from the team principal. Donovan, a well-earned victory here. Still in 421, has dropped back a little bit. Maybe an issue in the last lap. He's going to finish third, though. As T-Man 1975 will bring a battered and bruised Ferrari home in fourth. But it is Donovan with the win here at Road America in a classic race with Knight Racing, and he will extend his point lead just slightly. Second to third in the championship. Final results, Donovan winning by just a half a second after a spectacular battle. Still in 421 third, T-Man 1975 fourth, and that sets up a fantastic finale in the final race as Bozak's point lead is safe, 209. He is the champion. Donovan only a 6-point lead because of the race drops. He gets a 3-point gap from this one. Still in 421 is 28 points back in fourth. T-Man 1975 has leapfrogged Jag Base, so that sets up another battle. Join us for the finale, a 1-hour special from the road course at Daytona.